Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we figure out how to build and run a SaaS. I'm Benedikt.
And I'm Brian. Each week we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we work on our products and keep the lights on by sitting around a campfire. Today is June 30th, and I'm feeling energized.
This is episode number 47, and I'm feeling burned out.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
That's my
I feel like we switched. We somehow switched roles.
That bites, man. What are you feeling?
Just like no energy to do anything productive. I'm working on the small stuff, like answer support tickets here and there, answer emails and stuff, but can't get myself to do any real product work. Anything big and productive just doesn't work this week for some reason. And I'm wondering if I should like either try to get something done or just like call it a week and take the rest of the week off and just like do nothing.
What do you feel like is the source of it? Like, is it physical or mental or both? Or
I think it's mostly mental. Like I don't feel I don't feel sick or anything. I just don't have energy. And I'm thinking back, like my last vacation was in February. So basically I had 2 days or 3 days off in February and have been working nonstop since.
Yeah.
And I think it's just time for a break.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe I just take the rest of the week off. Not undecided yet, but feels like it's the same thing to do instead of trying to get something done and still not getting anything done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. How do you and Jane split up customer support just on a day-to-day basis, then if you were to decide to take the week off, how do y'all
we don't have a strict rule. Like we both check customer support, and then I usually reply to the super technical stuff and she replies to everything else. Sometimes she will assign stuff to me and then I take care of it. But yeah, the support load isn't that bad these days. So
Gotcha.
And I mean, that part is still easy. Like answering a support ticket here and there is usually not a problem. But like working on features is like, just the thought of sitting down and solving hard problems isn't super exciting right now. But then again, I mean, I feel like we should make more progress and get this done. And like, there's so much on the to-do list. So that's the other part of me thinking like, hey, maybe you shouldn't take a day off or the rest of the week off because there's so much to do and it should be done sooner than later. And it's just, the constant struggle, I guess.
Do you have any days off scheduled or planned?
Yes, but not until September.
Yeah.
So I feel like at least a short break is probably a good idea.
Yeah. Are you is it what's at the top of your development list right now? Is it a big feature that you're trying to take on, or like a bunch of
it's the big data model improvement with the companies and stuff like that. And like the data model part is almost done, like a couple more tests to write and one thing to add. So made some good progress there, but like for some reason I can't get myself to get back to it and finish it. And it's a little bit stupid, but yeah, that's how it is right now.
Yeah. Feels like it's always hard to know, do I just need to get this big thing done so that I'll feel better and feel like I can rest? Or do I need to go rest so that I can come back and do this big thing? Like, which one do you need right now?
Yeah. I have a feeling like initially the thought was like we ship in-app messages and then I take a couple of slow days and just do some cleanup and stuff like that. And that was fun. but I got super excited during the cleanup and with the refactoring. So I ended up working a lot on this because it was a lot of fun. And then after that was shipped, I jumped right into the next thing. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, as I said, a break is probably
Yeah,
a good
maybe you should
idea.
be giving yourself a cool down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at this week.
What do you like to if you took the rest of the week off, would you just like chill around the house, or is there somewhere remote-ish that you could go?
uh,
Like, what would you?
I'd probably just chill around the house, to be honest,
Yeah.
because my girlfriend is still working, so she
Mhm.
can't take she can't take days off on short
Chill out.
notice.
Yeah.
So going somewhere without her doesn't, well, it's not super exciting,
Right.
to
Yep.
be honest.
Yep.
So I probably just give myself permission to not work and not feel guilty about not working.
Yeah.
That's probably good enough already.
Mhm. Sounds like you could use it, man.
Yeah, maybe. I guess, yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. Already sent Jane a message. She hasn't replied, but probably take the rest of the week off and
Nice. All right.
yeah, just do nothing for a change.
Yeah. Well, I hope you feel recharged afterward
I hope so
after
too.
you end up
Like
doing it.
honestly, just the thought of like just having done this, having made this decision to take time off already feels makes me more inspired to go back to work. Now it doesn't feel like a burden anymore.
Well, imagine how you'd feel if you actually took it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
What else you got going on over there? Is the data model kind of the big
Yeah,
picture?
yeah, that's the big thing
Yeah.
this last week, and yeah, whatever I could do this week. Um, and as I said, like it's looking good. Like the data model itself is working. We sent out a questionnaire yesterday to our mailing list and on Twitter asking people like how their account and user model is structured and what use cases they have for automations and automated campaigns. Because I figured it would be good to get some more perspectives on this and like some a list of use cases that people would try and
Mhm.
would want to solve with this. And so far, I think the data model we came up with holds up pretty well. So didn't find anything that wouldn't be possible with the current set. So that makes me at least relieved that we're not far off. Hopefully,
Yeah.
but it was interesting. I tried to come up with a simpler solution before, and during conversation with a friend last week, it became pretty obvious that trying to make this simpler, like in terms of a smaller API surface and trying to cram things together, probably just makes it more complicated because then the mental model doesn't overlap anymore. And now it's just like very explicit about you've got users, you've got companies, and you've got relationship between them,
Mhm.
and you basically have to manage all three via our API with the option of just like if you don't want to specify anything in particular about the relationship, then it's fine if you just reference the company. But if you want to have like a proper representation of all user roles or company specific settings per users, then you have the ability to just like work with all these three models and update the attributes on all of them.
Mhm.
And that felt like a good a good conversation to have and a good solution to come to because like everything else like yeah was just way too complicated to reason about.
Yeah. How much more you feel like you have to go on it? Like, you feel like you're most of the way there, halfway there?
On the data model thing, I guess they only I have to write a couple more tests to make sure it's working correctly.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I have to add or want to add is like having events that are only tied to a company and not tied to users for stuff
Okay.
like billing related stuff or something that happens with an account that doesn't that's not connected to any user taking an action, like a payment fails or
Okay. Yep.
whatever, like trial expires or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not tied to a user, but only tied to an account or a company. And I want to model this as well. And then the data model part is done. And then the hard part of like figuring out like how does automations work and how does segmentation work
Yeah.
with the new data model. It's the next big thing we have to solve. And when that's done, we have to solve a bunch of UI issues. Because like the current user interface doesn't support like it's our user profiles are already pretty limited and we want to improve
Okay.
them, wanted to improve them for a while, but now once we add in the companies and then relationships between users and companies, just a simple page with user attributes and events doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah. Yes.
Because then you have like this user is associated with several companies, and in this company they have these permissions or these roles and stuff like that, and we have to somehow present that data in a nice way. So I feel like there's a redesign in the
Redesign for the
roadmap
future.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
We talked about marketing stuff for you guys last week, and
Yeah.
where's that?
Nothing too nothing really to report other than that we decided to hire Asia.
All right.
She sent over her contract yesterday, so we have to still put signatures in
Yep.
it. But other than that, we're ready to go, and she'll start in 2 weeks or so. Yeah, in
Okay.
2 weeks. So that's exciting. Hopefully, it works out as planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope so. Keep us posted.
What about you? I saw you posted a video.
Yeah. So I recorded that little demo video for you. I was so proud of the Easter egg that I was going to put in it for you, and then I got the name of the band wrong because I had
No worries.
Game of
Still
Thrones
appreciated
on the
Easter
mind.
egg.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Yeah. So that's 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 where it's at. What day was that? Friday, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was like Friday at the very end of my work day. Um and so that it feels like it feels like it's presentable. I'm sure that there are bugs in there. There are a couple things I mentioned um, in that uh, in that video. Like I want to change the way that managers and employees like record their takeaways. Um, and so for people, I mean, just to kind of give the listeners like an overview for any given meeting between a manager and one of their team members, you can have an agenda, which is ideally you're setting bullet points before the meeting starts, and then takeaways, and then private notes. So private notes, like I wouldn't see yours, you wouldn't see mine. Agenda, we both can see, and we're ideally like co-creating that in the week running up to the meeting. And then takeaways are just like the little things that we talk about. And the way I've got it structured right now is it's just rich text. It's just like a text area. I feel like that could be, little single like to do items basically.
Yeah.
So that then they could have, statuses. You could dismiss them. I could send specific or, headlamp could, bubble those up on the dashboard to remind them to take action on those things. So didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. Had some other things going on and client work, and so I think that's what I'm going to try and knock out this afternoon. Is just get that done because that feels like pretty even as I was like mocking up that company for the demo video and needed to show that was like yeah, this will just flat out not be useful in the current structure, so I know I need to fix that. Then I want to pop back over to the marketing site. I think um it yeah, I haven't touched it in a couple months. And now that I've got a good idea of what the first version, the first features are, to really like demonstrate those, talk about them, um, and get that updated so I can start sharing it a bit more, talking about it a bit more, and pointing people to, yeah, here's what I'm working on. Go check this out. Can we hop on a call? Is this something you think that your team would be interested in? Right now, they go to Project Headlamp, and it is very, very like high level.
Hmm.
It's actually really. I mean, I did that on purpose because I literally didn't know what the features would be. But Ben Orenstein, I think the first time I showed it to him, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I get the problem you're describing. Maybe a little bit too much on the benefits side of the benefits versus features conversation." I was like, "Yeah, it's because I don't know what the features are." Um, uh, and Justin Jackson had a pretty good thread on this a couple days ago as well. I don't know if you saw that. It was like,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
people really do actually want to know what the features are.
yeah.
And like, we're gonna make your life better. Sign up now. Like, well, what's it do? So, anyway, so now that I know, and I've got actual screenshots. I wanna give it an update and start passing it around a little bit more. There's a Slack group. We work remotely, and another, don't even know what the title of it is, another remote Slack channel that I'm in that are relatively active. So
Hmm.
I've been super hesitant to post things there and point people because I just don't feel like it's a super effective marketing page at the moment. So yeah, those are my two to dos. Get the takeaways remodeled, update the marketing site, and so that I can start trying to find my first user.
Hmm. How do you feel like in the video you mentioned you wanna do the check-ins feature, um,
Yeah.
or that's still missing? Do you feel like this is more important or less important than refactoring the takeaways?
I think it's less important because I really do think that I could launch without it. I could at least start onboarding people without it, like promising that it is coming soon. It's not, well, yeah, I don't want to underestimate. Um,
I feel like
I can see you like estimating it in your head.
yeah, like I'm not really estimating it in terms of effort, but I feel like
Yeah.
this is like it's potentially the most interesting feature.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And that comes with
And
a big question mark because like I also don't know if it maybe like I get the idea of it, like checking in with people on a regular basis
mhm.
and basically probing the team how they feel and trying to spot problems early on. I also wonder like how effective this will be like on the in the long term. Like if people get an email once per week or something like that, at one point they might get annoyed and stop answering,
Yep.
or only answer when they are super pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, like in the dashboard, like just seeing all the team members and having like this line of green, red, and gray dots
Mhm.
feels like this is interesting, and there's like it's a good way to keep in touch with everyone.
Yeah.
While everything else, I mean, it's still cool, but where's the benefit over just having a shared document and a calendar?
Okay. So that's super helpful. Um, I
Then
think
again, I'm maybe not a target customer,
no, I mean that
so
it's exactly what everything that you're thinking through, um, is helpful. I think I want to be sure to present, why it is so much better to schedule and manage your meetings from this application than from a Google Doc. Um, and yeah, because okay, yeah, it's like thinking myself in circles right now, but um, I think I wanna stick to the idea of being able to show that check-ins are coming and not far away. Like that is that's like sizable, but that's not some crazy. How am I going to pull this off? I know I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But to get it
My thinking
out
there
there,
is the takeaways refactoring. I fully agree. It's a good idea.
yeah,
But what you have right now is probably good enough.
okay.
Whereas the check-ins,
I have nothing.
there's nothing right now. And like, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe you get that to the good enough state as well, and then
Okay.
start to improve things. There's this tendency, and
Huh.
if I've been in your shoes, maybe I'd make it the same way and be like, hey, I should probably refactor this so it has the right data model
Yeah.
from the start and like it doesn't mess up stuff in later on.
Mhm.
So I get that tendency, but then again, like chances are, like even if people start using it, it's probably not enough data to be worried about like going in there and copy pasting out of the rich text into a list. Even if you do this manually for an afternoon or so, you should be
Yeah.
able to get this done relatively quickly. So making this part perfect is probably not the wisest thing right now, but maybe get a draft version of the other feature in there
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah, the impact of not having a feature to having a feature, check-ins, that's much bigger impact than taking moving takeaways from good enough
Yeah,
to even to better. Okay.
yeah.
I actually agree with that. Okay, cool. Well, there we go.
Sorry for messing with your plans.
No, it's okay. You know, I
But
so I think that the thing I wanna be sure then that I, like, simplify on that is on the check-ins is at least just building it from the start that it will like not allowing customization of that scheduling out of the
yeah,
box. Simple simple email, they click a link and it records their response.
yeah, that's
Green
what I do as
green, yellow,
well.
red. Okay, cool.
Super simple and
Yep,
like not even a Slack integration or anything. Just
not yet.
email with 3 buttons and record
Yes,
what they
yes.
say. Or actually 2 buttons, right?
Red, yellow, green, like how you
Okay,
feel.
that's
Yeah,
yellow. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, then
yep.
yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Just made
But
a
like
helpful decision.
overall, I have to say I was super impressed by the
Oh, thanks.
state of things. Like it looks super polished and it looks really solid. I didn't expect that in this early stage of the product.
Cool. Thanks. That's encouraging. I appreciate it. I mean, I'll say, Tailwind UI is pretty awesome. Um, it has been, uh, it's I will definitely say it's been a little bit of a double-edged sword that, um, it is it is really easy to get to not have to worry about or think through all these little specific UI things. Um, what the other edge of that, the other side of that, is that there have been a couple of times where I've been like getting ready to do a view and going to Tailwind UI and like looking for something that will fit rather
Mhm.
than doing what I have always done, which is like sketch something out on the paper, and then start building it. It's like it was like this. It's this weird thing of oh shit. What? Why am I? What am I doing here? I know what this should look like. Um, so start there and then pull in the elements. But I don't know. It's like there's something about when you start using a tool like that that you unnecessarily constrain yourself to what it can do, and I don't know. Anyway, um,
Once you've got a hammer, everything looks like a nail or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, right, right, right. So I will, yeah, for anybody who has been wondering about Tailwind UI, it's freaking awesome. I mean, it's really, really handy. I I think this is what I wish. I think that I wish that I had spent more time with Tailwind CSS
Hmm.
before, and this is like the second thing I've ever built using Tailwind, so I don't know Tailwind that well at all, and I think that that's why I'm like leaning so heavily on their pre-built, elements, um,
Mm.
as opposed to like, oh yeah, okay, I know what I would use from Tailwind CSS to do this. I don't need
Mm.
the UI offer. But anyway, yeah, it's the more I use it, the like more I understand it and like can know where to know what I'm needing to tweak and change. It's pretty awesome. Like for the app to be where it is and to realize how little CSS I have written is kind of bonkers.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, I've been like, I haven't bought Tailwind UI, and we're not even using Tailwind CSS. But I feel like it's, even without buying it, it's just a great resource for inspiration. Like
Yeah,
just going through their library and just
yeah,
looking at the screenshots, not even the code. But there are some pretty nice UI patterns, and like the aesthetic is, at least, it's modern and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah, trendy right now, I guess. But I also like, flip side of that is like, it's already like nowadays when you land on a website, you can almost tell this is a Tailwind website without
yeah,
opening the code,
yeah.
which probably is fine for now, but I have a feeling this will get old pretty fast.
Yep, it'll face that bootstrap
Yeah, so
backlash.
suddenly everything looked like Bootstrap, and
Yep,
I have a feeling suddenly everything looks like Tailwind UI.
yep. Yeah. That is the flip side of working on it, is looking at it and just being like, "This looks like every other," it doesn't have much personality. Um, and I spent, like, one afternoon, like, starting to mess with colors and everything. I was like, "This is no!" Like, I this is why I'm using this, so I don't overthink or, like, spend any time on this yet.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
reskin I can retheme this exact like markup at any
yeah,
point in the future and
yeah,
it'll look a little bit
absolutely.
more original. Um so yeah, that's I mentioned this to you, but I'll be camping again next week. From like Sunday to Wednesday or Sunday to Thursday, I think. So
Nice.
sorry, man. Um
I
summer in
just
Colorado.
replace you with another guest.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're trying to get our camping in now that some sites are starting to open back up. So
Yeah, get it all, like, do as much camping as possible to prepare for the next lockdown, I guess.
yeah. Yeah. Really. So you think you'll have another guest on or take a week off?
Well, let's see. For now, I plan to get another guest on. I think I have an idea or two. But
Cool.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. I guess if you don't have anything else to share, then let's call it an episode.
Yeah, that's it for me, man. Slow Steady Pod on Twitter, slowandsteadypodcast.com.
See you in 2
Later.
weeks. Bye.